live for day 2 of this week's stream. I'm here with Kervin Brisseaux, and we're doing illustration again.
Mm-hmm.
If any of you caught us yesterday, you'll see the same illustration, but just elevated, continued, and enhanced. If you're just joining us today, that's great. We are so happy to have you. Let us know where you're from. So you're joining us from New York.
Yes, joining from New York. This is round 2.
Yep.
And yeah, as Ari said, we'll be doing a second take on the illustration that we were working on yesterday. And this time we'll be focusing on trying to finishing it up with you guys, picking a color palette and draw, and then bringing it into the desktop for some finishing touches, some like tips and tricks I like to do to give that finished look that I achieve in my work. And then, if there's time, we'll move on to the next piece, or at least show you guys what to expect for tomorrow.
Cool. So yesterday we were working on Photoshop Sketch, and Kervin started an illustration on there, and today we're going to be in Draw, adding color.
Yes.
So let's see, where is everyone from? Let's start welcoming everyone.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh, Jonas is back.
Jonas is
Ryan
back.
is back. Calvin. Hi, Des. Hi, Anna. Hi, Ma. Hi, Alex.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. So, do you want to show what you did with your
Yes.
thing?
So
Okay,
when
people
we-
are saying where they're from. Wait.
Oh, all right.
Okay, Dana from Maryland. Nellie. Oh, Dewey from Mississippi. Noah from Nashville.
What up, Joe?
Hey, Kevin. Oh, Cholula, Mexico. Is that where the sauce is from? I love
That's a good
Cholula.
question. I have no idea.
Oh, Scotland. Uganda, Canada, Angola, China, Germany.
Germany.
Okay,
Awesome.
yet again we have a global
It
audience.
is the UN
Do
of
you feel
the Adobe
pressured?
Live. A little bit. I hope I
whole
impress you
world
guys
is watching.
a little bit. Yeah.
Also, before I forget, we have a chat and win today. In 30 minutes, you can win one of these awesome prints that were created right here in the live studio. This one was created by Rob.
Nice. Very nice.
This one's by Christine Heron. I was actually hosting this one when we created it, and I have it on my wall to remind me of all the places I want to go. And then this one is by Jing Wei. So,
Yeah, very nice.
in 30 minutes, if you stay active in the chat, we will be giving these away, and you'll be eligible to win all 3 of these.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'll be letting you know when that's happening, but for now, let's...
Someone did a callback. Anyone from Mars? No?
Again? Any other planets, it's always Mars. Can't you be a little more
Yeah, I know.
creative?
Well, there used to be 9. Now there's, what, 8?
Yeah.
Pluto don't count no more.
The options are getting very small.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
All right, sweet.
So yesterday's design, oh my gosh, it looks so cool.
Yeah, it's come a long way since yesterday. But don't worry, I'm going to do something that is a really cool feature in here called the timelapse. And so basically that'll let you guys see kind of like a recap of what we did yesterday and how I finished it up very quickly. So in order to create a timelapse, what's really cool about this is that it kind of leverages the history of your brushstrokes and all the moves that you've done. So you just click on this shared button here and then go to timelapse. And then it'll just generate it. And then, as simple as that, you press play and you can start to see all the stuff that we did yesterday. So starting with like the blue brushes, if you guys remember, going into adding the jacket design, things of that sort. So we'll just let that run real quick. And it comes together very, very quickly, actually. It's kind of cool seeing like all the mistakes and all like the design decisions you make as you go along. And that's where we decided to make the wolf.
Yeah, so a lot of people didn't know there's a time-lapse feature now.
It is very cool.
It's great for sharing stuff.
Absolutely is. Absolutely
I
is.
use it, and it's so much effort usually. If you're not planning to show a time lapse from the
Yeah.
beginning, you're like, oh no, I want to share that now, but I don't have my history. But this automatically records what you've been doing,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can share a time lapse at any time.
Yeah. And what's nice about it is that the whole setup, sometimes when you set up a time lapse, like the old-fashioned way, you kind of are more conscious of your mistakes and you kind of want to be more perfect. Here, you forget that the feature's even there, and then once you've finished the work, it kind of makes it feel more pure. Like everyone gets to see the errors. Like you don't have to worry about being so perfect along the process. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
So this is Adobe Sketch. This is where we were working yesterday, and just showing the process from yesterday. Those of you joining now, great to see you. Welcome back, day 2.
I'm going to talk about what's happening there in a moment. So basically, when you bring a photo in Sketch, you could convert it into a sketch layer to be able to erase details. So it basically treats it as if it's like something that you've brushed in.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You can erase, you can edit it, things of that sort. Do like simple manipulations. And I'll show you guys how to do that very quickly. It's just like a 2-step thing.
I love the shadow.
Yeah, the drop shadow treatment, yeah. And then I think after that, I just start adding. So here I did like a little quick design choice. I wanted to deck the wolf out with something, so I gave it like a little spike
Oh, nice.
spike necklace.
It wasn't fierce enough.
And then that's pretty much it. I think this should be the last bit of it.
Let me just tell everyone what the challenge is for today.
Sure.
So, many of you may know that this month is Mermay. I just found out yesterday. And it means that we're drawing mermaids this month. So, the challenge is to create and share an illustration celebrating Mermay made in whatever app you want, Photoshop, Illustrator, or the mobile apps, Sketch or Draw, using a restricted color palette that we've provided. So if you click on the challenge tab at the top of the chat dialog, you'll see that there's 4 colors to choose from. You can use them all. And if you want to use more colors, you can use the ones we've given you and mix them, which is actually a great way to create a harmonious design, and like the colors to look good is if you use the ones we provided. So it is a little bit of a restriction because there's no black and white.
Yeah.
There's only 4, but I think you can do really cool things and it makes you more creative.
Yeah.
Do you
I think
ever
so
do
too.
that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I always find that usually the easy part sometimes is like drawing the thing, and then the color is what can easily ruin it. Like if you don't choose the right color palette, it tends to like make you feel like you have to go back to the drawing board now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So yeah, color can be a very, very daunting experience regardless of how simple it is to apply, in my opinion.
Yeah. So now it's not daunting. You know which colors you need to use. You've got 4 colors.
Yep.
So check out that challenge tab, and all you need to do is share it using the form that's linked there. It's super easy, and then we'll be reviewing them. And guess what the challenge winner gets? It's an amazing prize.
Oh man, I don't even want to.
You don't know?
The year-long subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud.
That's
right.
true.
I remember that. I was just playing.
You were making it more dramatic.
Yeah, of course.
So if you submit an illustration to us today celebrating Mermay in like a mermaid theme or underwater theme using that color palette we've provided, you will be in the running to win a year of Creative Cloud. So we'll be reviewing those, and then we'll pick our favorite at the end of this stream. And then throughout the day, the challenge will still continue with the other streams. So there will be other opportunities. But why wouldn't you want us to pick the winner and be winning on our stream, the first one of the day?
That's right.
So we'll be checking those. And let's see. Oh, Calvin says, I love the color palettes in the challenge. That's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a very nice choices actually. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I wanted to show you guys after the time lapse is I said I would show you how to manipulate a photo when you bring it in. So let's say I brought in a photo. So let's hide all this stuff real quick. Let's hide this one, let's hide that photo. Let's bring in this one. So this photo right now has not been converted. All I have to do to convert it is you tap to bring in the submenu. And then on the very bottom, you'll see it say convert to sketch layer. You just have to do that. And then now you'll be able to manipulate it. You can do all kinds of stuff. So you can erase, right? Wow. You can paint inside, which is actually another cool feature. So basically, if you create a shape like an object, let me show you very quickly. Bring this to the front. So if I make like a massive sort of blob here, right? You can paint inside, and then what that allows you to do is, if you pick a color, it'll only paint within the confines of that said object.
So that's
pretty
what's
cool.
happening when you convert the photograph to a sketch layer. It's allowing you to paint inside.
You can paint inside, you can erase, you can brush over it, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. It basically treats it like any other layer. It's almost as if
Cool.
you painted the photo yourself in there, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty sweet. It's a pretty sweet feature. And so that I tend to use that a lot when I want to do like very simple manipulations, allow some like overlap, things of that sort, without being too concerned of drawing within the lines, so to speak.
Yeah.
I can just like have a foreground background element and then play from there. I can even do something where like if I want the background to be more faded or something, but still keep the foreground pop, then I could do that too. But yeah, so that was pretty much it. So now let's move into Adobe Draw. And if you guys, for some of you that were here yesterday, you recall that I like using Draw because it has a quicker way of coloring up different shapes. And having that kind of flexibility, adding patterns, things of that sort is really, really useful and basically saves us time. So what my process typically is I'll just do the pencils, I'll ink it up, and I'll do the black on here too because I kind of like the fidelity of the lines a little better than Sketch than in Draw. But you know, to each his own. And then once I do that, I'll then take those assets and bring them into Adobe Draw. So let's do that right now. Let's hide everything that I don't need. So all these ones I need, these are already hidden. Okay, great. So now that nifty trick I showed you guys yesterday where you're creating
The nifty trick was so exciting.
creating that split screen.
Okay, so he's split screening and then he's gonna drag.
Yeah, I'm gonna drag it in and create a, let me create a new canvas. Let's see, let's work in A2. And then I just have to pick one and then I tap all the layers that I want.
Good thing you have multiple fingers.
Yeah, just big hands basically, that helps.
It's like, oh.
And then you bring the layers over, and when the numbers turn green, you can just release and let go. It'll take a second to load. Yep, that's fine. Hit done. Now we can just put all of our attention into Draw. So as you can see here, I have all of my layers that I need.
Yeah, so if you guys missed that trick yesterday, now you got to see it. It's super useful.
Yeah, it was honestly a trick I didn't know how to do until very recently as well. Rumiana from Adobe actually showed me the trick right before presentation. And it
Nice.
basically made me look much smarter than I actually was, which is
Yeah.
great. So shouts to Rumiana. So in any case, now let's start adding some color. So yesterday we told you guys that we would maybe like collaborate a little bit and kind of pick color palettes that we think will work best. So I do have some pre-selected palettes that I've used from previous campaigns. Actually, before we go into that, I just want to quickly go over the differences between Draw and Sketch with the brushes. So with Sketch, you can have an infinite amount of brush options and whatnot, but in Draw, there's only 6? Yeah, about 6, including the eraser. And that's all you get. So you still have the flexibility of like messing with the brush fidelity, the angle, the roundness, tapering, things of that sort. But in terms of the brush variety, these are the only ones that you work with. And the other thing too is that the nature of how lines work in Draw. If you were to draw a line in Illustrator, typically you use like a pen tool or something because it's just a stroke line. You can change the thickness, things of that sort. But here, every line that you draw in Draw is actually a shape. So it's not like something where you can easily change the stroke. You would actually be committed to that thickness as you draw it.
Okay,
and then you can manipulate
so
it after.
with the pen tool, it's the line, but with the shape, it's actually the outline
Exactly, yeah.
that would be the pen tool.
You're like basically drawing like a very thin shape as opposed to like an actual line. Pretty much. So
Okay.
there's always going to be like a two sides to it. It's not going to be like a single spline necessarily.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good to keep in mind.
Yeah. So there's definitely like, you just have to weigh what your preferences are pretty much.
Yeah. So we have a few new people joining. Hi Sivash from Guyana. Hi Bindu from India. Brandon's back.
Jonas is like, use the
Jonas.
mermaid ones. All right, yeah, you know what? Let me see. Maybe we could do like a little
We could think
a
about
riff.
that.
Yeah. So like
Riffing on the mermaid.
So we've got like a pink, we've got a teal, a green, and a yellow. So I do like the color yellow, so we'll start with that maybe. Let's do something that's about a yellow. So
Hi
we'll start with this
Munir,
for
good to
now.
see you again. Hi Michael. So Caroline asks, so it stays as vector in Draw? Yes.
Yeah, pure vector, only in vector in Draw. Yeah.
So it's great if you draw something in Draw and then you go into Illustrator, it's already vectors and you can then manipulate further if you need to do more detailed work.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no when you do the send to desktop feature, which we'll show you guys later, you could send it to either Photoshop and Illustrator, and just whatever the program physics are, that's how the layers will operate. So I believe if you bring a draw file to Photoshop, I think it just flattens it. I don't think it makes it like a vector smart object. I don't think so. I think it just makes it a flat layer.
The chat will tell us.
The chat will tell us.
The hive mind.
Yeah. Or we'll just find out as we do it. So let's make a new layer. So outside of like the basic stuff that I just showed you guys, like the top line stuff, it kind of operates very, very similarly to Sketch. You can make a new layer. You can, within each layer feature, you can duplicate, you can transform the layers, you can play with the opacity, there's blend modes, you can hide the layer. So all pretty much is the same with regards to the layer stack. So now I'm going to start adding color to this.
Did you use one of Kyle's halftone brushes?
Yes, I did. To create the halftone, I used
Nice.
Kyle's halftone brushes. I told you, man, I love that brush setup. It's so nice.
Hey, from Miami Beach. Kevin asked if we could see the image closer right before you zoomed it in. It was like,
Right
his
before I zoomed
question
in?
was like, we answered his question immediately without even seeing. Yeah, everyone feel free to ask questions. We're here to help you out with any, creative blocks you might have or advice if you're starting out.
Talk about more sci-fi flicks.
Yeah, if you like movies, you can talk about that. Anything that's on your mind, we're here to talk to you. And I will, if Curve is too focused on his illustration, don't worry.
Yeah.
I will convey your questions. Hi, Carlos in Barcelona. Okay, so we're starting out with yellow. Those of you who just joined, there is going to be a chat and win in about 15 minutes, and I have these wonderful prints that are from our other live streams that you can win. So all you need to do is be active in the chat at the time that we'll prompt you, we'll tell you when it's happening. But stick around for that because it's a great opportunity to win some artwork that you can display on your wall like I have. I have all of these. And we also have a challenge for today. So click on the challenge tab. We're celebrating the month of Mermay. I don't know where this came from, but it's very amazing. I love mermaids and I love May, so it's great.
So I wanted to quickly show you guys something that I just did there, which is, this is why I enjoyed doing colors in Draw, in that, so I did my outline of the shape, and rather than having to color it in old school, you just have to tap the middle, and it'll just automatically fill it in, which is nice.
You can't do that with Sketch, can you?
No, you can't. Paint Inside is kind of like an interesting workaround, like you could mask block it, and if you want to change colors, you could do it, but as of yet, no, you can't do that in Sketch.
Yeah.
There's no automatic fill.
But since it's so easy to bring stuff into Draw, then why not?
I kind of prefer Draw because I do like working in vector. I like being able to scale details up and down. And with the line work, even though it's black, because it's high res enough, I could always just live trace it in Illustrator, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And if you want to change the color, say I wanted to make it a red instead, it's just as simple as just doing that. So you can quickly change colors. If I did if I did something random, so I'm on the same layer and I did this, right? So, and I wanted to change that to blue instead, then it'll just change the color that's actually there. And the red that's all spliced up, if I wanted that to be blue, it respects the boundaries, so I'd have to
I see.
recognize, wherever there's a closed boundary, then it'll only fill in that section. So
Okay.
all these nice little tricks when you start adding different details to it is pretty useful.
Yeah. What do you recommend to improve a beginner's drawing skills?
Practice. That's going to be the theme for sure. Whenever someone asks, hey, how do you get better? How do you do this? How do you do that? It starts with just practice because there's no real formula to it. You just have to do it. I guess one thing that's a constant for a lot of people that improve is they keep a sketchbook. And this is something that even I struggle with sometimes, just because it's very easy to like make a habit of something, but then also to break it.
Yeah.
But if you can get into the habit of keeping a sketchbook, and I'm talking like something for yourself, not something to show people. This is just something to just practice and like make mistakes, do errors. You'll see a vast improvement, I think,
Yeah.
in how you work, for sure.
Freudy says, gonna get a cold with all these sick tips.
Sounds like something my coworker would say.
Yanina loves your style.
Thank you.
Hi, Lucian. Sivash says, practice for 10,000 hours. How
Do it
many
every
days
day.
is 10,000 hours?
You know what? That's based. I know what he's referencing. That was based off of a book written by some dude. I can't remember, but
The chat will tell us. Which
Yeah.
book does this come from?
Yeah,
Practice
yeah.
for 10,000 hours.
yeah, it's like a few years, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty-
Only
yeah.
it should be more than that.
Yeah.
Many years.
But no, the theory is like to be like a master at anything. You, in theory, you have to just do it for 10,000 hours, and you'd be considered like an expert, regardless of
Oh,
whether it's a
I
sport or it's like writing or singing, acting. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anything that requires like some sort of crafts. 10,000
Malcolm
hours.
Gladwell.
There you go. I'm saying there you go because I'm just trusting you. I don't exactly remember the name, but
I'm Googling.
I trust that you know what you're talking about, Noah.
Oh, we got a link too
Oh, nice.
in the chat. See, the chat is the smartest thing on the internet because it's better than Google
Yeah.
and it's better than just talking to like one small group of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the best of both worlds.
Alright, so yeah, I'm liking how this. yellow's
Munir
looking.
says thank you. He's from Morocco.
Oh,
He's
you're very welcome, Munir.
he's our friend because he's a very faithful viewer of the live streams.
Sweet. All right. So let's
Yeah,
see.
I've confirmed it is Malcolm. I listened to his podcast. Do you listen to it, Revisionist History?
No, I have not. I
It's
should check it
so
out.
good. Everyone should listen to that. Hey, Hector.
Let's see. What were the other colors that we had? We had like a green, right? So let's try. We had a green. We
This,
had a
like,
blue. This
It's a little more yellowy.
like a yellowy. And it's like a. Oh, you know what?
There you go.
Yeah, it's like that. Okay, let's put that on our wolf for now. And then as we add colors, we'll just mess around with saturations and stuff, see what sticks. But for now, we'll get these mermaid colors in place.
Yeah. Ismail, we're using Adobe Draw. It's an app, and it's right now on the iPad with the Apple Pencil. So let us know if you have other questions about the tools or the colors. The colors are inspired by the challenge for today, which is a restricted color palette that we're providing you of 4 colors. And we think that will be really cool for your creative process. Sometimes it's hard to choose colors. Sometimes it's hard to make sure that they look good together. So you can use those and see what you create. And if you join the challenge and submit some artwork, we'll be reviewing it during the stream, and one of you will win a year of Creative Cloud. So it's a great opportunity to get advice from Kervin because he's really good at giving feedback, and also to win a Creative Cloud subscription. Kevin says there's a TED Talk and they say you can learn anything in 21 hours. That's a big difference from 10,000.
Learning, yeah, you can learn
Yeah,
anything,
but not expert.
mastering it, probably a little longer.
Yeah.
As Rob Zilla said in the chat earlier, just do it every day.
Yep.
Just do it every
Rob
single
says-
day.
Kervin, could you type in the hex code in Draw? What does that mean?
Oh, actually, yeah, you could. So the hex code, I think you can. Let me see if there's a way to do it. I feel like there should be. Oh man, Rob putting me on the
Rob
spot.
said he could. Rob, give us
Yeah,
more
give us some
information.
knowledge. Show us. This is a learning experience. Let us know.
Noah says, have you worked with a Wacom Cintiq before you started using the iPad?
I've dabbled with it. I mentioned yesterday that some of my coworkers have it, and it's awesome. But I prefer the iPad because I I like the instant portability of being able to work directly on the iPad without having to bring a computer necessarily. So it's like, it kind of allows me to travel light, especially with my line of work, the kind of stuff I do. I'm fine with just solely working in Sketch and Draw. And then if I need to do any finishing touches, I could do it after the fact. But when it comes to like sending clients updates, like quick modifications to the work, this is fine. And then, and it's like, it kind of works, like the fidelity for me and like the sort of the parallax issues that people have with other stuff. Parallax being like, you know, that kind of how the pencil operates with the cursor. It doesn't really bother me so much on the iPad. And then using Astropad as well in combination with my laptop, my desktop, like it's totally fine too. So, yeah. But again, it's different strokes for different folks. I think it really just depends on what you're into, and kind of like what you've been exposed to first. I think I got on the iPad first before I got on the Cintiq. Oh, okay. And while I have touched the Cintiq and I do recognize how amazing it is, I prefer just using the iPad.
Yeah. Rob says, "Oops, it's the other thing, zodiac sign." I feel like you're speaking in code. I don't know what's happening.
He's messing with me.
I'm so confused.
He's messing with me. At Kervin, check your settings. Check my settings. All right, so check my color settings. And then what? I'm listening to Calvin Smith now.
I think we should just do our own thing because everyone's trying to play with us on the chat.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's hard because there's so many people chatting, so like each person's message gets cut between other people's, so it's hard to...
It's definitely a way to... I always feel like there should be a way to do it. It definitely has to be a way, but...
Yeah.
When someone gives us a clear way, then we'll definitely show them.
Yeah.
Until then, we'll just eyeball it, because we're going to be probably tweaking the colors around depending on what you guys think of how it's working anyways, so... there's room for interpretation.
Hey, Tim. Good to see you again. Hey, Pollyanna.
What's up, Pollyanna? How are those Tokyo tickets coming along?
Hey, Terrence.
I am liking how this green is working, though. It's pretty sweet. All right, but you don't need all of that detail in there.
Jonas says...
Here's Jonas. What did he say?
If you shout the color to your iPad really loud, then it'll recognize it.
Hashtag EEC.
Thank you. I am now pulling up the color.
Hey, Siri.
EE7350. Pollyanna says Tokyo is on the list, my friend.
Oh, nice. Ready.
Yanina says make it purple. What do you want to be purple?
Yeah.
There's so many elements on here.
Yeah.
Ooh, Eliezer, watching live from Namibia.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
Welcome. Chris
Kong says jokes today. Does it mean that we're funny?
Nah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's been a lot of jokes so far.
Hi, Chris. Oops. I can be Siri anytime. If you need something from Siri, let me know. I do this all the time at work. I'm just at my desk speaking in a Siri voice. And my coworkers still laugh, but I think they're really annoyed deep down. They're like, can you just be normal?
Nah, no such thing. What's normal? What does that even mean?
Hi, Ellen. So we have a few new people. Just to give you a heads up, we're going to have a chat and win coming up in the next couple minutes. And if you stay active in the chat, you can win one of these prints. There's 3 prints. Great size, perfect for your wall, perfect for showing people that you are a fan of Adobe Live and you are a fan of great artwork and creativity.
Yes, indeed.
This is by Rob. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if this was me?
It's a portrait. What are you talking about? Where are your chains at, though? You should just come in with chains tomorrow.
I know. Where are my chains?
So she's wearing the jacket because she was inspired.
This is inspired. This is a curved piece.
There you go. Boom. I designed that yesterday. She's wearing it now.
Look at the texture.
Look at that. Look at that.
Imagine illustrating this.
Oh, I thought you would change color if I.
Oh, that would be
No,
so
that would have been
great.
crazy. Come on,
If it
special
turned
effects.
yellow.
Can we do that after the fact? It's green screen, right? So we could do anything. Yeah. They'll put that in after in the replay. Let's see.
Oh,
here.
Heather says, my son really wants me to win the Mr. T drawing.
Oh yeah.
You should. You should be active in the chat.
Yeah.
So once we do the chat and win, just tell us what. Oh, God. I always can't think of something for people to say. Tell us how amazing Curve is.
Oh no, you don't have to do all that. Let's.
'Cause you'll love it. Everyone's going to be like, he's the best.
And what? I just have to pick one. Pick a winner that who has the best compliment.
No. This is randomly picked. The chat and win is just randomly picked.
Ah, okay. All right, let's see. So, what are the other colors? So we have like a pink or red.
Yeah, so we're playing the chat and win now, everyone. So all you need to do is be active in the chat, say how amazing Curve is, but the chat and win video is going to play first. So once you see the video come up, that's when you can start being active. And a minute after that, we will randomly pick a winner. So if you're active right now and you're chatting, like wait until the video too and keep going. Okay? Okay, we're back. Curve hype. You got a lot of compliments.
Look at that.
You rule the iPad. Okay, we have a winner, everyone. We picked a random winner from the chat. Thank you for everyone being active and watching. Okay, so the winner is Kimberly. Kimberly Nysinen.
Wow, you really good.
I don't know.
Nailed
It's
it.
probably wrong.
Oh, you're probably right. I think.
So Kimberly, congratulations, you win these posters. Yay! Good job. Thanks for watching and thanks for chatting. She's laughing. Haha. Great. So the next thing that you can win today is Creative Cloud by
Yes.
participating in the challenge.
Yes.
So I want to make sure everyone looks at their challenge tab. We're asking you to create an illustration using the 4 colors that we've provided, and we'll pick a winner at the end of this stream. The end of this segment, which ends in, well, you have 1 hour left. So you can see that there's a challenge deadline at the bottom of the screen. And that's going to be exciting. So now you're just filling in.
Yeah, just filling in all the shapes that we have, and then this is basically like the block coloring phase, right? So, what I mean by that is pretty much just like laying down the base colors, and then if you want to add like another layer of shading, we can. But for now, we're just like making sure that the colors feel right, the colors feel harmonious, which we know that they are because they've been pre-selected.
Yeah.
But just to like get a sense, because sometimes I like to color flat and just kind of keep it that way, and sometimes I'll go in and like maybe add like another layer of shading just to add some more three-dimensionality to it.
Mel says, are the tally marks on her face a Doctor Who reference?
No, that is interesting. The tally marks is just like again like kind of like referencing some manga aesthetics that I've seen. Like a lot of like sort of like interesting hip hop influences as well, like wearing like bandanas on their faces and stuff like that. I also seen that a lot in like some of Frank Miller stuff, like Sin City. There was a character that's like all bandaged up, and like it was like a really cool like negative space play where you'd have like the character's face in dark, but the bandages will be all white. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's where that came from. But Doctor Who, I'm sorry to say, as much as I love sci-fi, I have never watched like maybe seen one episode of Doctor Who, but I respect the legacy, but I just never got into it.
That's a good thing to say. I respect the legacy.
Yeah.
Because there's all these movies I haven't seen, and people are like, you haven't seen that?
Yeah.
That's going to be my new answer. I respect the legacy, but I've never seen it. So Nina is asking about how you started. So yesterday, Curve told us about how he started in architecture.
Yes, I started in architecture.
So for those of you who weren't here yesterday, let's hear the summary again of
Sure.
your beginnings.
So basically, I started in architecture. I started like in undergrad back in like 2003. I studied it for 8 years. And we talked about this yesterday. Growing up, first generation American immigrant household, kind of pressured into doing all kinds of things that they feel deems worthy of their time coming to this country here, pretty much. They're kind of living vicariously
You're gonna draw
through you.
after I did all this to bring you to America?
You can't just like keep that in your coloring books and just do something else. It's like they didn't really get that that's what I wanted to do, as much as they wanted what was best for me and whatnot. And so I picked architecture because it was a balance of science and creation, like sort of design.
Yeah.
But eventually, after getting my master's, I kind of wisened up a little bit. Talked to a really close friend of mine who was like, look, obviously you're into this. This is what you should be doing. Maybe like reconsider, look at your portfolio, and take it from there. And that's what I did. And fast forward a few months later, that's where I finally landed like my first like freelance gig at like a design agency in the city. And that whole journey that summer of like 2012, I eventually ended up at Vault. So that's where. And then fast forward like 6 years
Kerv's
later.
full-time job is at Vault 49,
Yeah.
which is in New York City.
Yeah.
But he also does freelance work as well.
Yeah, it's really, really cool that they allow us to do freelance, because that's like definitely something that they respect and understand. Like the kind of people that we bring into Vault, like we're all super talented, and so it's kind of nice that Vault recognizes that and sees that, you know, we're constantly hungry even outside the office. Like we don't want to like not create just because someone says so, you know what I mean? That if anything, that would spark rebellion. So like they have the understanding that, you know what, you guys are more than welcome to create outside of the office. I mean, it's fun, because in reality, allowing us to do that kind of helps like the work environment also, because we're constantly practicing, we're constantly engaged, and we don't necessarily burn out. It just allows us to continually push the envelope and sort of kind of come at things at different perspectives, because we're constantly diving into new things on our own time. So it's nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
Alex says, I met one of the other designers at Vault while I was in New York. I had the pleasure of talking about design with him for hours.
Oh, who did you meet?
Yeah, he might be in the chat.
Yeah.
We have a couple people trolling us in the chat.
Yeah, that's all of them.
Hi, Nora. Okay, so we got a question if your style has a name.
Oh, you know,
Is it just curve style?
I honestly don't have a name for it. I think like the one project, when I did like just the fashion stuff before I did this whole like sort of world building, like adding scenes and whatnot, it was just called acid fashion. So like fashion styles that kind of had like neon color palettes, kind of
And
almost
that's
psychedelic.
a thing that exists. It's a wider.
No,
thing, or
it's
you
just something
made
I
it up?
called it. I
Okay.
just called it that, and I just used it as a hashtag whenever I would post something like that. But
Yeah.
nowadays, yeah, I don't know. It's a working title. I have no idea what I'd call this, to be honest. Like it's typically photographic takeovers, like collage, you could say. Hijack is another popular thing to call it. It really just depends on what artist you're following and how they approach it, I guess.
Yeah. Alex, tell us who it was. Are you influenced by comic book style?
Yeah.
Someone asked.
Absolutely, comic, manga, anime. Yeah, that's definitely something that has been infused in the DNA of what I do now, for sure. And funnily enough, I loved reading comics, but I was terrible at collecting them, because I like any sort of irresponsible kid, I always destroyed what I owned. Like any toy that I got, there would be like dismembered. Like I'd have like Batman toys, like because my brother and I would be so curious as to like how it worked. So we pull it apart, but it would never be put back together again. And that would be with anything that we got. So with comic books, like we would collect comic books, but they'd always end up being destroyed because we just never took care of them. We just read them and then they would just disappear into the ether because we just like chuck them to the side, and then our parents would just be like, well, I guess this is garbage. And it's just like, they'd be gone before we realize it.
Alex says it was Ben that she met.
Oh, Ben, yeah. Ben Fernley, really talented 3D designer as well. Yeah, he works at Vault, and he's my protege. No, I'm kidding. Nah, but we sit together and we always have a good time just hanging out.
Ismail says it's like you're doing magic.
Oh, thank you. Magician.
Tima says you should call it Curve Deco.
Curved deco. I respect it. She's tapping into the architecture roots too. That art deco. Yeah, all right. Curved deco. I'll hashtag it for this one.
And Rob says, call it Kervin with an apostrophe after the end. Like, I've been Kervin today.
Sure.
Like a verb.
Yeah, I work it.
You
Hell
are
yeah.
a verb. Did you know that?
I am a verb, and yes, there's been a lot of jokes about my name. That's for sure.
I'm sure.
There's been people.
I've only known you for a day, so I didn't think I could joke yet. But maybe tomorrow.
No, there's plenty. There is plenty. I'm sure. I'm sure you had a hard time resisting. You should see some of the way people spell my name and like.
Do they think that you're just spelling it wrong when you like sign your name?
Absolutely.
They're like, you mean Kevin, right?
I'll go to like a restaurant and I'm like, and they're like, what's your name? I'm like, Kervin. They're like, spell it, and I'll be like Ker, and they're like, no, it's not. Curvin.
That's not your name.
It's like, no, it's just Kevin with an R in it. Sometimes like people will spell it. I won't tell them how to spell it. They'll just like go for it without asking, and there'll be some funny results. The closest one that they got was like Kirvin, which it's like, fair enough. But for some reason, in my mind, Kervin seems like a common name. It's just Kevin with an R. It just seems so normal to me. But the story as to why the R got in there is probably something we'll save for tomorrow.
Oh.
It's not that interesting.
So I was wondering, because you said your parents are from Haiti.
Yeah.
If it was a Haitian name.
Yeah. It's more popular amongst Haitians.
Okay.
So I discovered in my search to find people like myself with my name, I did like a Facebook search, and I find that it's actually quite a common last name, which is weird. I don't know where. I'm not sure if that's like an Irish thing or something. I've seen, for a first name, I've seen a lot of people from the Philippines have it as a first name. Other Haitians. I have two cousins that actually have my name too.
Whoa.
But I've come to the realization that Kervin Brisseaux, only one in the world.
Wow.
That's right.
Me
that
too. Ariadne Raimundakis, the only one in the world.
Exactly.
It's kind of scary because people can search you and find everything about you.
Yeah, pretty much, because you're the only one.
Yeah. But also it's great because you're discoverable.
Yeah, if they know how to look up Kervin Brisseaux. Yeah.
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, if someone could spell our names, then they can be our friends, basically.
Yeah.
Siobhan says, I live in Ireland, so everyone wants to spell my name Siobhan. The Irish spellings are crazy. Have you seen, do you know the actress Saoirse Ronan?
It sounds familiar, but I don't think
She was in Brooklyn, the movie. She was in Lady Bird.
Yeah, I just saw Lady Bird. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And she has such a hard time because her name is spelled Saoirse. And everyone's like, what is this? So she says, my name is Saoirse. It rhymes with inertia. She says that like every talk show she goes, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then that makes it a little awkward, and then they have to move on to the next thing.
But yeah, the Irish spellings are very unique. Tim says, same with my last name. Yeah. So, does anyone have any questions for us? Any questions for Kervin about his process?
I have a question. What kind of comics are you guys reading now? Any comic book readers in the chat? Does anyone have any favorites that I should be put on? Maybe I could check them out.
Yeah, give him some new inspo.
Give me some tips. Give me some top tips.
Tima says One Piece.
One Piece.
Is that a comic or is it something else?
One Piece.
Freudie says Junji Ito.
Junji Ito, okay.
I'm writing them down for you.
Thank
Noah
you.
says Amulet.
Amulet, all right, cool.
Amulet.
Now, are you guys recommending these because of the style or the story? Or both?
Good question. Tima says One Piece is like 800 chapters.
Oh, wow. That'll keep me busy.
Tech on Kincrete. Wow, this is a lot for me to take in.
I think I've started something here, and it will not stop.
Oh, One Piece is Japanese anime.
Oh, sweet. Yeah,
We
I'm
don't
gonna
know
learn.
things.
I'm gonna learn today.
We're learning. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah, I know Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh yeah.
Hakusho.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I say it. I'm
Bleach.
pretty sure
Do you
it's-
know Bleach?
Yep, I know Bleach as well.
This is Pollyanna's.
That's a
thing.
classic. When I was much younger, I used to watch like Outlaw Star and Trigun. I mentioned DBZ. What else did I used to watch? I used to watch some. Oh man, I used to watch some random like soap opera type stuff like Fushigi Yugi. It's like a deep cut, but it's like a love story, but it was just so well drawn, and I liked the story, so I would check it out.
Yeah.
My buddy used to have like back when we used to have VHSs, like he just had like a couple of cassettes of VHS, so we just check that out. And then that kind of opened my mind to JRPGs, being into anime so much. So like
Oh, okay.
playing like Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross being my favorite. We were talking about that at dinner yesterday actually, and a bunch of other things.
Outlaw Star.
Outlaw Star, yeah.
Sandman. Sailor Moon.
And Sailor Moon, yeah. Pollyanna, bringing out the classics.
So Sebastian, you're asking about maybe the halftone brush. How do you do the points as duotone?
The halftone brush.
Maybe that's what he's talking about. I'm not sure what duotone means, but maybe it's about these.
These things. Well, this was done in Sketch. So if I go back to Sketch, so the halftone was just like the way Kyle has it set up. So make a new layer here. So this is my halftone brush here. It's just a part of the manga pack. When you draw, like, it's pressure sensitive, so you can start super light or you can add more. So it really just depends on the kind of density you're going for. You can just go over it again and again and again until you have the right amount of density that you want, really, too.
Yeah.
So that's how that halftone operates. And there's like a bunch of them in Kyle's brushes, but this is the one I particularly like to work with.
Has anyone used Kyle's manga pack? Any halftone users?
Yeah, definitely use it. It's amazing.
Tima says, have you seen Cowboy Bebop?
Yes. Oh yeah. I love
Golden
Cowboy
Boy?
Bebop. Golden Boy, no, I have not. seen it.
Samurai Champloo?
Yeah, Samurai Champloo I have. What's another really classic one? If it comes to me, I'll remember it.
Yeah.
You know what else was really good too? The Animatrix. When that came out, I really enjoyed World Record. That was probably my favorite one of that sort of Japanese anime miniseries. It was like a spin-off of The Matrix, so they came out with the Animatrix. Because The Matrix, the first one, they admittedly said that it's very much so inspired by Japanese animation.
Oh, I
And
didn't
why
know
the
that.
movie was so successful from a cinematographic standpoint was because it kind of looked like they were animating their actors with like all the slow motion stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool. So yeah, the Animatrix I think is it's definitely a recommendation on my part to check out.
Have you seen Death Note anime?
Death Note, only a couple episodes. I haven't gotten into Death Note. I heard that the Netflix came out with like a Netflix live series. I heard it was terrible.
Oh.
Which I'm sorry for all you Death Note guys that might have been hyped about it, but yeah, I heard it didn't do the anime justice, but I heard the anime is amazing.
So everyone, you have 40 minutes left to submit for the challenge for today. Please submit things. We love to see what you create. If you click on the challenge tab at the top of the chat dialog, you'll see the rules for today. You can use Photoshop, Illustrator, Sketch, Draw, anything you want, and you have 4 colors to use.
Yeah.
And we love to see what you create, and you can win Creative Cloud.
Hell yeah.
So we'll be choosing a winner from this session.
So what do you guys think about this color combination so far? I'm liking it. I think these mermaid colors are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
If you guys agree, I'll just keep going and start refining the details a bit, and then we can move on to the next piece.
Yeah, do you like the colors? Do you want to see something different? Maybe is there a color you want to see added? I think it's really cool. I wouldn't have ever imagined these colors.
Yeah, no, they
But
work
they
really
look
well.
so good.
They work really well. So there's one color I haven't used yet, which is a teal.
Yeah.
something that's on there, right? So I think I might use that to start adding
It's this
values
color.
to the wolf. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. Let's start adding some additional values to this
So
guy.
Kervin was inspired by the colors that are used for the challenge for today.
Yes.
So there were 4 colors, and we're using that.
Yes, indeed.
Nora really loves it. Yay!
Good. And we're gonna stick with it, Nora. Don't you worry.
Michael says you mentioned yesterday a lot of your art style coming from Japanese art
Mm-hmm.
forms. What else has been a contributor to your style?
Just daily street fashion. Like I'm constantly looking at fashion blogs, fashion Instagrams,
okay.
stuff like that. Like I'm really into the kind of like minimalist fashion stuff nowadays. I can't really think of any brands specifically, but I'm really into like sort of like simple palettes, like tonal palettes. Nothing too pattern heavy or like array of colors. Like I like very like simple like crew necks, things of that sort. Bomber jackets, of course. And yeah, sneakers for days. We actually have like a private chat at work where we just do all we talk about is sneakers.
That's so fun.
It's just
How
whole
many
collection
sneakers
on
do you
fleek.
have?
Oh man, the number changes a lot. I want to say now I have about 20 wearable pairs, 20,
Okay.
22 wearable pairs. Like it's pretty modest as far as
What's
sneaker collections.
non-wearable?
Well, just sneakers that I just beat up that you can't really wear.
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
Like
I
it's-
was hoping you weren't gonna say like sneakers that I just put in a
Oh
box.
no, it's not like that. If I'm buying anything like that, I'm looking to resell it. If anything, like I
Yeah.
would never hold on to it just for the sake of no. But I tend to. I went through a phase where I bought a lot in like a matter of a couple years, and I went through like a Nike binge for a while. I'm also into Adidas as well. I'm just into anything that's fly, really.
Anything that's fly.
Anything that's fly. So hey, if you guys have any
Very
recommendations,
objective criterion.
Yes, exactly. Not married to any brands.
Noah says the current Voltron series on Netflix is legit.
Yes, I did hear that it was really good. I
I'm
totally
writing it
forgot about
down.
that. I heard that. Yeah, I heard that
I
series
need
was
to
amazing.
educate myself on this stuff. So, have you ever thought of designing a bomber jacket?
Yeah, absolutely. I would
Because
love
looking
to.
at your Instagram, I'm like, I want to wear some of that stuff.
You know, I'm constantly asked by like all my friends and family. They're like, dude, like when is this actually coming out? And you know what's interesting? For anyone that's been following me a while, if any of you are on there, like I did do one crew neck that was released with a brand called No Tone. They're not around anymore, but they were affiliated with this thing called SneakerCon. And SneakerCon is like this. It's like the Comic-Con of like sneakers.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And I did design like a crew neck, and the next thing would have been to do a jacket. I have designed some jackets, but not in the same style as what I'm doing here. They were sports influenced. Basically, the brief would be like, here's a sneaker. Do something based off this sneaker.
Okay.
And then I would show it to them. So it was pretty fun. But yeah, I would like to do jackets that are more inspired by what I do now, for sure.
Yeah, I would totally buy it. If you did a collab with a fashion brand.
That'd be sick. That would be like the next thing for me, for sure. I would
Yeah.
love for that to happen.
Abhishek says, it's a zombie mutant wolf.
Yes.
It's the Adobe wolf.
The Adobe Wolf. He's
Who
really
else loves
working on
sneakers in the chat?
Yeah, any sneakerheads on there. If any of my coworkers are on there, you should be responding now. I know Jonas is a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
It's like at least half of us in the office like are really into a good pair of crepes, as they like to say.
What did you call them?
Crepes.
Like
Crepes.
C-R-A-P-S?
C-R-E-P. I think there's another E at the end of it. I can't remember. Crepes. Yeah,
Like
crepe.
a French crepe.
Almost like that, yeah. A little bit of slang.
Ooh la la.
A little bit of British slang for today. I've been working with them for so long that I've adopted quite a few of
Oh,
their
so
isms.
it's a British thing.
I'm pretty sure it's a British thing because I've never heard it called crap until I met them. So for me growing up, it was just
Alright.
like kicks or something like that. I never called it a kind of food that you eat. But I get it. I understand the name though.
If someone's like, would you like a crepe for lunch? You're like, yes, I
Yeah,
love
how much?
sneakers. Eliezer, mad love for sneakers. Yanina says, me. I have so many shoes. Yeah, shoes are the kind of thing I just can't get enough of.
No, me neither. Me neither. had to control my binges after a while. I was like, you know what? I think I've had enough for now. Maybe take a little bit of a break
Yeah.
from buying sneaks. Maybe
I don't
save
have
some
much
money.
room for them, so that's the big
Yeah,
limiting factor.
that is
I'm
definitely a factor.
If I can't put them anywhere, that's... Luckily, if I had a shoe closet, that would be a different story.
Right? Yeah, I've heard about the shoe boxes that you have to get in San Fran to be able to live in the city. Sometimes, like, it's so expensive compared to New York.
I live in a shoebox, so I don't have a shoe closet. We are apparently the most expensive city in the world.
You just beat out New York by quite by
because
a
we
little bit.
have less space and
Yeah. Is that what
demand
is that
is
the
so
difference
high.
is? It's just like the in terms of the
Yeah.
cost to square footage ratio.
I
a bit
think it's
ridiculous.
just because we have limited. We're kind of a peninsula,
Mhm.
the whole San Francisco. So being in the city means you have to be in this like small area.
Right.
But the whole Bay Area is really expensive too. But it's fun. There's a lot going on here. Sasha says, am I the only one? I have 2 pair of sneakers, one for work and another for running.
No, you're not the only one. I know someone just like that.
You're a normal,
You're
logical person.
You're normal. Yeah, that was me up until maybe 4 years ago, and then I just really got into a craze of sneakers. I'm not sure why, but I mean, I always appreciated them, but I never collected them. Maybe because I just have a newfound interest. I tend to be a hobbyist. I always pick up new hobbies and interests every once in a while. Right now, it's photography. Like, I'm really into collecting cameras.
Oh.
But yeah. Any photographers on the chat? Out of curiosity. And if so, what do you shoot with?
Hi, Landy. Landy says, muy buena ilustración.
Muchas gracias. Learn a little bit of Spanish in my day.
Gracias, Landy.
Yeah. So back to my inspiration. So fashion, in light of fashion, photography, obviously, and then just like a really good like film, just any sort of like we talked about sci-fi. That's really cool. Sometimes like you just see like an instance that's just like really inspiring that that'll just like spark you into creating something kind of cool. Whether it's like a moment captured on camera or something like that. Yeah.
Mel says, I use a Nikon.
Nice.
Tima says, Canon film camera and 50D Canon digital.
Ooh, what film camera are you shooting with? What kind of Canon? Because I have a film camera in my bag right now, actually. That I'm
Do you
shooting with.
collect film or digital cameras?
Film cameras. And the collection got out of control. It got so vast in such a short period of time because, eBay is so addicting. Like, you could just find anything on there. And I was just collecting them. And then I just sold a bunch of it and optimized it down to just like a few. Like, I have a Nikon F2, an F3, and I have like a Minolta point and shoot. And that's it right now. And then I've been like collecting lenses for now.
I use my iPhone.
Hey, that's the most practical point and shoot there is. It's not about the equipment, it's about the eye. Ain't that right? I'm sure the photographers
Preach.
will be.
It's true.
E1 program, that's right. That's a good camera. A lot of my coworkers use it.
A1 Canon, Nikon D7 II. I don't know how to say it. D7200.
Uh-huh.
Oh, landscape photography.
Nice. Nikon D810 and an F4. Sweet.
And Abhishek does wildlife photography.
Oh,
Where do
sick.
you live, Abhishek?
Yeah.
Is there wildlife around you? Where do you go to shoot? And Richard, where do you go to shoot? What landscapes are around you? Francisco, oh, yeah, we have a landscape photographer actually in this studio, our studio manager here.
Nice.
He's really good. You should follow him on Instagram.
Yes. Put them on blast.
Ismail loves sneakers too. Tima says you can use a pinpoint box and still make amazing photography if you make good composition and contrast.
Boom. Truer words haven't been said. Thank you very much, Tima.
Very true.
that being said, it's nice to have toys. Yeah, and then last but not least, music, of course. Like, I am constantly finding new music. What am I listening to now? Man, I can't even like distinguish any particular album. Like, I just like find like genres that I'm into, and I just start to collect, like listen to radios on like Spotify or like SoundCloud, and just collect like playlists and stuff, and just listen. This is pretty sweet.
Matthias says, I could use a pair of Jordan 1s, Chicago 2013, please.
I think we all could. That is a beautiful sneaker. Oh, man.
And then he says, Kervin, how about Cat Song? Do you know what that is?
Cat Song? I feel like
Is
this
this
is
a
like
joke?
another, I feel like this is like another like YouTube meme or something. Like,
It's like a meme.
yeah, I thought so.
It's a meme.
We have a cat song that plays and people love it. It hasn't played yet. I'll let you know.
Okay, it's a meme. Tom says, lifetime hip hop photographer.
Oh,
Using
sick.
iPhone 6 at the moment.
Nice. No, there was a photographer who like did like a quick little YouTube doc about, you just reiterating what's been said. Like, you don't really need anything fancy. He just got like an iPhone. Really, it's just about, he just had to set up like some soft boxes and just had like a seamless and did some shots, and it's like,
What's a seamless?
so it's just like something, it could be anything, but usually it's just like a roll of like a white sheet or whatever
Oh,
color.
I see. Yeah.
And then did like some test shoots with a model, and it looked fine. What you sacrifice is probably like megapixels, if
Yeah.
you care about that kind of stuff. But
If it's going to be like a huge billboard,
yeah, like
then you care
then
about
maybe. But like if you're just like shooting and just keeping it digital, yeah, again, you could like literally shoot with anything.
Yeah. So Richard lives in Cornwall, UK, so there's lots of coastline shots, waterways and hills.
Nice.
It is beautiful there. That's awesome. And Abhishek lives in Bangalore, India. They have a few sanctuaries nearby with tigers and pelicans.
Oh, nice.
Nice. That's great material for photography. Yeah, so if you're in the chat and you can hear the music that's playing, we can't hear that. So we don't know what the music is. We just hear ourselves in the silence of the studio. Hi, Glenna. Calvin is asking if Draw also has a time-lapse feature.
Yes, it does, and we'll
You know it.
gladly show you that once we finish here before we move to the desktop and do like some quick finishing touches.
Yeah, so we have about an hour left.
Mm-hmm.
And you on the chat have half an hour left, or 26 minutes to be exact, to submit for the challenge for today. So make sure you click on the challenge tab on the top right. If you can do something quick for us to submit, we'll be looking at those submissions and choosing a winner to win Creative Cloud. If you don't have a chance to do it in this segment, you can still submit for the rest of the day, and the next host and the next streamers will be looking at your work. Eliezer says, how many colors do you usually work with?
Depends on the design. I try to limit the palette nowadays as much as I can, for sake of clarity and just being easily digestible. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of the details now in my work comes in the line work, and so the color is just meant to elevate what those details are. So if I were to number it, I want to be able to just count it with my hands, basically. Like, if I can keep it down to about 5 colors but still keep it strong and bold and striking, then that's great for me. But I am open to sort of expanding that as needed, whatever the design needs, basically.
Ooh, I got one submission for the challenge so far.
Yeah.
That's exciting. If we have a couple more, we'll take a look at them. Keep submitting. Yes, your chances are very high to win a year of Creative Cloud right now.
Yeah.
If you submit, because there's only one person that's submitted so far. So
Nice.
I would definitely take that opportunity to create an illustration using the color palette we've provided.
I mean, it's a year subscription.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. I would take advantage.
Kevin says, what have you never drawn before?
What have I never drawn before? I don't know.
He's challenging you to draw it right now without reference.
Oh man, it will be terrible. I'll tell you right now. What haven't I drawn before? That's such an interesting random question because
Yeah.
when you're learning to draw, you try to draw everything, and you might not remember everything that you've drawn, but like you certainly there's always an attempt to do something,
Yeah.
however awful it may look. Yeah, I don't know, man. I have no idea. I think what I would like to be able to draw is just, as you say, being able to draw without reference. Like we mentioned that artist yesterday, Kim
Yeah.
Jung-ji. He is unreal. Like, so just to be able to do that off the top of your head, but like entire murals, just with like a single brush pen, that would be insane. That's the level I'd like to achieve one day, for sure. I will say what I would like to do that I haven't done yet is like, I've always had this thought of like, if I were to collaborate with like a photographer and like do an event where they would put up like large scale photographic prints, like maybe like 3 of them, and then I come in with like Posca pens or something and just like draw
Yeah.
over them live. Like there's like music in the background. Like that would be like
Oh,
really
that
cool
sounds
to do.
cool.
That'd be like a nice little event to do and just like do takeovers like this, but like at a much larger scale and just like
Yeah.
draw it out. That'd be awesome.
Have you ever drawn yourself?
Yeah, and I'm terrible at it. I look terrible. Although yesterday,
Yes, I was gonna say.
Daichi-
so
yeah,
Daichi, who's
yeah.
streaming with us, also today and tomorrow, he's on at the end of the day. He does amazing caricatures, and
man.
he drew
So
Kervin
good.
yesterday. So
He
if you
did
go
it.
on your Instagram story, right?
yeah, go on my Instagram story right now. You'll see Daichi. Be sure to follow him as well. It's really good. He did it in like less than 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, like we were all just
Hanging
chatting
out.
and you know not doing anything with our lives.
And it wasn't like he was being antisocial. Like he was totally participating and just
He's like,
being
yeah,
very quick. And then just like turned his iPad and we're just like, whoa, where did that come from? Yeah, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So Glenna, we were talking about comics and graphic novels before, but do you have one comic that's influenced you that you can mention,
Anyone in particular?
or a style?
Comic style, yes. Otomo Katsuhiro, Akira. That drawing style is definitely what sparked me to really, really get into it at a younger age. And the thing is, when I saw it, I didn't know who it was that did it.
Yeah.
You know, because like you just like see stuff, and this was like before like having total access to the internet, things of that sort. But Otomo Katsuhiro is like, that's just like, it's my savior, man. He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's absolutely amazing.
Okay, Kevin made a good point.
Yes.
She needs a shadow right at her cheek where her jacket is.
Needs a shadow right
Like,
at her cheek.
Right here.
Yeah. You know what? Good
Between her
shout.
cheek and the jacket because it looks...
Good shout. You know what? Let's add that right now. So what we could do is, we're already in draw, so we just
He said
make
it looks
that.
like a horn sticking out of her cheek. I don't really see the horn, but I see where you would need a little shadow
Yeah. No. Good shout. Yeah. Let's add that in
to
there.
make her pop.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Good.
Thanks for that
Thanks for the top tip. guys.
tip.
Yeah.
Hive mind tip.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do it.
So Callum, yesterday we went on Adobe Stock and Kervin found this photo on Adobe Stock. So we don't know the photographer.
No, we don't know the
But-
photographer. It's from Adobe Stock. Damn, I wish I'd checked to see, because there's like a whole series of this particular model posing in front of the camera, and it's like all in the
Oh,
same
okay.
setting. And I've actually used this model before in another Adobe project a while back, which maybe I'll show you guys later. But yeah, it's from Adobe Stock.
I want
Yeah.
her to see it.
Right? Maybe she has seen it and hates it, or is just too shy to say, hey, good job. Yeah, thanks for the top tip on that shadow. Definitely looks better now.
Yeah. It's those things that once you see them, you can't unsee them.
And that's why I like working in a collaborative environment. Is
Yeah.
that it's things like that where it's like you can show it to people. I prefer doing it in person, but like even like on the internet, like stuff like this, like it's really nice to be able to not work in a bubble. You know, like working in a bubble can be a very dangerous thing sometimes.
Definitely. Yes, Akira. Yes, I love Akira.
Yeah, Akira's awesome. Akira is awesome. Ghost in the Shell. You know what? When I was doing my, like back in the day, all I did was sci-fi illustrations. And a lot of people would say, hey, have you ever seen Ghost in the Shell? Your stuff reminds me of Ghost in the Shell. And I was like, no, I haven't seen it, but now I need to.
Yeah.
And this was like years ago. This was like over 10 years ago. I was really into that. Oh, Hajime Sorayama. That's another one. You notice I'm into like a lot of Japanese artists, which is why I need to go to Tokyo. Pollyanna.
I know.
Pollyanna, if you're listening, we need to go to Tokyo. Yeah, no, Hajime Sorayama is really amazing. The airbrushing that he used to do, really, really cool. So I went through a phase where I would just do that all the time. And I actually have a piece on my Instagram that kind of has like, it's like digitally airbrushed, like the latest piece I posted. It's an old piece, but that's when I was into my Hajime Sorayama days.
So we have 2 submissions for the challenge so far. You have 18 minutes left. So we want to see those coming in.
Come on, guys.
Please submit.
Submit.
You get to win.
And get
So-
something awesome.
Yeah, if you're one of like 4 people submitting, your odds are very high. Eliezer asks, how long have you been illustrating? Has it been 10,000 hours?
I wouldn't think so, yeah. I guess professionally illustrating, I've been doing it, like really as a professional, I've only been doing it for about like just under 10 years. But in terms of like drawing like on my own time, forever. Just always. I was always doing it. Always doing it. Even when I was in architecture, I actually landed my first big freelance career, freelance gig rather, while I was still studying my second year of grad school. So, and it would be funny, there was a time where I was getting constant work that I would be juggling, like I'd make a choice between, do I study for this exam or do I do this? Do I do this piece? And because I was like, you know, a goody-goody, I would often choose the exam, but I feel like, yeah, it was always a part of me to just want to be in the industry. It just took me a while to realize after I graduated, you know what? Maybe this is something I should be doing. Yeah.
Caroline, yay! Finish. Or you can finish in 15 minutes. Negar, we actually talked about Kim Jung-ji.
Yep.
Kervin was saying he really admires him and how he can draw without a reference.
Yeah. He's just, yeah.
And he's very talented.
We could just have a Kim Jong-gi chat. You guys should just bring him in here. I'll fly in just for that.
Yeah.
Just to hear him talk. He does like all these different lectures around the country too. Really, really cool stuff. Like, I don't know if he streams any of it, but you can definitely pay to see him, and like he'll do like a book signing, and like, and it would be totally worth it. Like, there's no question.
Michael, yes, we're streaming tomorrow. This stream is a 3-day event, so tomorrow and Thursday we'll be back. I mean, tomorrow is Thursday. I've lost track. So we've got Kervin right now. This is our segment, and then the next one is Sarah Stewart with our host Kathleen. 1 p.m. we have Katya Austin, hosted by Logan. And at 3 p.m. we have Daichi, hosted by Kathleen again. So make sure you stay tuned because there's some awesome stuff happening.
Oh yeah.
And it's all happening just as it is today. It will happen again tomorrow. And we spent time with the other streamers yesterday, and they're so great. Besides being very talented people, very nice people, and eager to share and give advice and just have fun.
And speaking of that, one other mention I'd like to bring up in terms of like what's inspired me and like artists that I followed, it was actually looking at concept art that taught me how to work with color values. Like, so there was one concept artist I used to follow a lot from Singapore called Feng Zhu. He did a lot of artwork for Star Wars, things of that sort. Like I think from like the second trilogy. And yeah, he was wicked. So I would watch his YouTube videos and like understand how he would build his values, like working over photography, or like understanding like the three-dimensionality of a surface, like how to create those like forms to make them look like they're popping off the page. Yeah, so looking at that kind of stuff definitely helped me a lot. Concept art is a really, really cool field.
Callum, ooh, first time submitting for the challenge. That's great.
Nice.
Is there anyone that's on the chat watching for the first time? I really want to know if it's your first Adobe Live. Freudy says, is there a shortcut to let go of a selection? Are you talking about those little minor bursts? Oh, I lost the chat.
Oh no.
There's too many people chatting.
Yeah, a lot of people are into it now.
Oh. Michael, which YouTube channel are you talking about? Oh, Fangzhu's YouTube channel.
Fangzhu.
Yeah, they're saying he has a great YouTube channel, and
he's awesome.
Noah has
really
a couple of his drawing DVDs from back in the day.
Yeah, he's
Cool.
really good. Like he teaches. He has his own school, in Singapore, I think.
Oh.
Right? I'm pretty sure he has his own school in Singapore, and his website used to be called Art by Fang, and he would just like show like just entire catalogs of his work. It was just so easy to get lost in that stuff. Really, really cool.
Oh, Derek, it's your first time. Derek, Tima, and Ismail, first time on Adobe Live. That's great. Welcome.
Welcome.
And come back.
Yeah.
We'll be here tomorrow. And we have different streams every week, so there's so many different topics, different types of design, and there's always something new to learn or an artist to learn more about.
Yep.
Yeah, Tim says, always good to see new faces. Okay, we have 3 submissions so far. 12 minutes left.
Come on, team.
Let's see. Let's show what we have to get people inspired to share. Here's one from Danielle. This is the latest one I got. So she's used those colors.
Cool.
The mermaid and the coral.
Looks like she's relaxed. She's feeling very refreshed.
Very refreshed. Callum. Okay, so Callum mostly does branding work, and he recently got into illustration. And this is the first time he's submitted to a challenge.
I could definitely see the branding influence for sure.
Yeah.
Nice, bold compositions.
That's cool. And Wakas, oh, it's
got some Bambi influence here. Got some, what is this, like a Bambi
deer
mermaid?
maid.
Deer. There you go.
That's
With a very
cool.
stylistic shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we have so far. We want to see more from you. Yeah, H6, the chat is, if you want to be part of this chat, you have to be on behance.net/live. So those of you that are watching on YouTube, it's you'll be able to chat with us and see the challenge tab and everything if you go on Behance. Behance.net/live.
Yes.
That's where we're everywhere. We're on YouTube too, but that's where we really live. Oh, Ismail said, I'm learning a lot today already. Yay.
Awesome.
It's great to see that everyone used the color palette and it looks really good.
Yeah.
I like that there wasn't any blue in it. It's all like
Yeah,
greens
right?
and-
Like it's just, yeah, it kind of
Because you would think like a mermaid, okay, there has to be the blue sea and
No,
the
yeah.
green tail.
Yeah,
but
yeah. No,
It
it's
doesn't have to.
No, it does not. I think it looks great. I think it's looking really, really good.
H6 says, I think you should check out the anime Michiko and Hachin.
Chico and Hachi. Never heard of that
I don't
one.
know if I'm pronouncing it right. Hachin.
Oh, there's one I picked up recently. Well, not recently, maybe like a year ago. Was Attack on Titan. Really cool stylistic anime as well. I'm sure plenty of you guys know about Attack on Titan.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Oh, Nyan is finishing. Yay, finish your challenge. So we have 9 minutes left.
Go, go, go.
And then at the end of those 9 minutes, I'm going to give it a few minutes to refresh so that I make sure that I've seen everything that's submitted.
Yep.
And then we'll look through them and pick a winner.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
We got jingles? We should get jingles on there.
We wouldn't hear it.
That's true. Yeah,
We have to make up our own.
That's one thing, yeah. I was checking out some of the other streams and I was like, I don't remember hearing music on this thing yesterday.
Rob is working on transforming Kyle Webster into a merman.
Rob, if you make the deadline, I don't know if you can technically win because of who you are, but you get brownie points.
You can't win, but you can win in our hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
Tima says you should check out Helsing.
Van Helsing? Oh, well, it's based off of Van Helsing. It's like a vampire anime, I'm pretty sure.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Absolutely. That's an old school one, right? That one, that's been around a while. I'm pretty sure.
I keep refreshing. There's one more. Okay, so we've been filling in. So for those of you that didn't join from the beginning, we started on Photoshop Sketch with a picture from Adobe Stock.
Yep.
And Kervin drew over that. And then we went into Draw and filled in the colors. I say we, but you did everything.
No, it's a team effort. I mean, you guys encouraged me to pick the palette, so.
Yeah. We gave you positive feedback.
Thank you very much.
And
Corrected some of my mistakes.
Yeah.
Someone gave me feedback on my shadow was missing.
So if there's anything else you feel could be changed, let us know. I mean, this is all a collaborative effort. Oh, Jonas says...
Here we go. You know what? I almost don't even want to look at what he said.
No, it looks actually legitimate.
Yeah? What did he say?
Add some black shading on the thumbs. Wait, but they're on the black. On the trousers to enhance the hands being under the jacket.
Yeah. So he's saying just add a bit more here so that...
Yeah.
Okay, Jonas, I'll give that one to you.
It looks like he's being, genuine right
Yeah, he doesn't want to be fired online. That's why. He doesn't understand the power I have.
So cool. Once we've done this Eliezer, we'll show you that. Oh, Kevin says his feedback is change the wolf into a cute rabbit.
You know what? In the next take, that's exactly what we're going to do.
I feel like it's going to be an evil rabbit.
Yeah, no, it has to be evil. Like I said yesterday, I like ferocious animals, so if it's a rabbit, it's going to need to be evil. It's going to need to be a very evil rabbit.
Okay, Caroline, you can submit in the next stream. Her husband brought food, so she has to go. I mean, if there's food, sometimes you just gotta eat.
Please do that. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this so far.
Can you hide the picture so we can just see the artwork?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's the artwork without any photo whatsoever. And so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna send this to the desktop and I'm gonna show you guys quickly some finishing touches in terms of how I kind of bring up some grain, add some noise. Maybe I'll put like a fly poster texture over it to make it feel like it's been printed somehow. And then do some other things to distress it a little bit to bring it home. And that's it.
Nice.
How much more time do we have until the challenge? I'll keep filling
5
with this
minutes.
until then. All right, so I'll keep filling with this until then. I think there's a couple other things I want to try.
Where do you get your little Apple Pencil cap?
This was given to me by Adobe. It's called a Cozy, what is it called? I think it's called Cozy something. Yeah, the brand is Cozy. It's just something, it's just a really useful thing so I don't lose my, because everyone
Oh, everyone loses those.
Everyone is losing these.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm very thankful for this because I would also be one of those people who would lose them. I'd be a victim as well, but saved by Cozy.
Nora loves it.
Yeah,
Thanks, Nora.
Definitely recommend it. It's very useful to have. So
Callum says, I need one. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I want to because we talked about yesterday how I picked this photo because it kind of she had like a superhero stance.
Yeah.
So I've got like this energy going off it. I kind of want to accentuate that a bit by having some of these colors come off her a little bit as well to make it look like it's like flowing with that energy.
Oh.
So now this is just like a last minute like finishing touch to that, just so that it's looking like it's flowing off her a little bit too. So this would be pretty fun to do.
Danielle, it's great to hear that it's your first time watching and you submitted for the challenge. That's really impressive. I know it's not easy. And she says, do you have any advice for a creative if you don't live in New York or California?
Sometimes it's better to be a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
That's it. Especially, I think the very first thing you should do is try to connect yourself with the design community there. Every community has one, regardless
Like
of how
an
small.
AIGA or...
Even something just more DIY, just like connect yourself with people that you know are also artists and designers, and just, you can start building from there. There's a lot of pockets out there that people don't know about, and it's just about putting yourself out there, really, and just putting in the legwork to find out who they are.
Yeah. And now with social media, it doesn't matter where you are, you can still reach an audience.
Social media makes it a whole lot easier, for sure. Just in terms of like making connections with people. It's kind of funny, like I was really into the online community for a while, like back when there was like digital forums, things of that sort. And I'm only now finally connecting with people that I've known for over 10 years, just being online.
Yeah.
Because of how social media has evolved now and whatnot. Like, remember back in the day where it was like weird to like, why are you gonna try to meet this person that you've only met on what?
Yeah.
Or MySpace or whatever. But now it's totally normal. Like, hey man, I'm a fan of your work, or like, hey, we're both into this thing, let's grab a coffee. Like, it's totally like no one even bats an eye away anymore. It's interesting.
That's cool. Okay, so there's superhero powers coming out of her. So everyone, you have less than 2 minutes to submit, and we're pretty open with what you could use, Photoshop, Illustrator, or one of our mobile apps.
Yes, indeed.
And this superwoman, what about her crown? Is it going to be white?
I don't know. I was gonna leave it white, but
I feel like
what do
it
you guys
doesn't
think it
really...
should be?
I think we'll see if anyone agrees, and please disagree so that we have a debate about this. I think it doesn't really show up now that it's white. Like when you look at the whole thing,
Yeah.
you notice that like the third time you look at it. So if you want it to be like more subtle,
No. Maybe do we make it yellow with the jacket?
what does the chat think?
Yeah.
Quick! What do we want to do with the crown?
Yeah.
What color? Danielle says, you're making me miss New York.
That's the goal. I like to ruin people's, make people homesick.
Callum says, I agree. So you agree it should be a different color. Nyan says golden.
Okay.
Callum says yellow. Kevin says, just make it pop.
Just make it pop. All right.
You sound like an art director. It's like,
Just make it
can you
pop.
just make it pop? And you're like, what do I do? Danielle says green. Jonas says blue, like the mermaid, like the teal maybe.
The teal?
That's a good idea because we don't have a lot of the teal.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of the teal yet. We only have it in certain places.
Tima says pink. Okay, so we have all over the place, all kinds of different
let's
colors.
see. I'm gonna make an executive decision by just coloring this in, and then we can quickly tap and toggle to see what looks best. So let's do that real quickly.
Okay, so we hit the deadline for the challenge. Thank you everyone who submitted. in a couple minutes, I'm going to be looking through them. We'll pick a winner.
Nice.
Yeah, so we got all kinds of different colors. Richard is like, turn it into flames coming from around the head. Oh my gosh.
People getting very creative now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking the yellow crown, to be honest. It makes no sense. Of all the suggestions, yeah. That's good too. A bit closer to gold. Yeah, I think I might keep it like this.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for the feedback, guys.
Cool.
Guys are rocking it with the feedback today. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, now, let's see here. Let's maybe do the same treatment to the wolf.
Thanks, Margarita. I'm glad you submitted.
Yes, me too.
And those of you who didn't get a chance, you can still submit in the next stream with Sarah Stewart, and she and Kathleen can look at your design and give you feedback and pick a winner for the next stream. So you still have more opportunities to win Creative Cloud. Eliezer, can't wait to see the final look. Me neither. So after this, we're currently in Adobe Draw, and after this, we're gonna take it to the desktop, and we'll see what other refinements Kervin will add.
Yeah, just some like really like simple tricks that I like to do to make it kind of feel more analog, basically. It's just something that kind of, because I'm really into like, that's like kind of like, if anything you can talk about my work, it definitely has a retro vibe to it. When you look at the finished product, there's always some kind of a finish to it that kind of makes it feel aged in a way. I'm definitely an 80s baby, and I very much so am into the 80s, so you'll find a lot of my work tends to vibe within retrofuturism, things like that.
Mariana, the next stream is right after this one. So we finish this stream in 30 minutes, or a little less, and then the next stream starts right away. And that's how they are back to back throughout the day, and then tomorrow as well. So this is the second day of a 3-day event. Chris says,
And the devil dog is almost done. I think we're at a point now where we can move on to the desktop.
what does everyone think the story is with the girl and the wolf?
Yeah, like I said yesterday, I like keeping things open to interpretation. So let's see what you guys
is the
have.
wolf saying, and what is she saying?
Yeah.
And who are they saying it to?
Yeah.
She is a sheep in wolf skin. She is Kill Bill.
Interesting.
Urban shaman. Kevin says, just on the way to buy some donuts.
Very Brooklyn thing to do.
Ryan says it's her spirit animal. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nyan says she has her supernatural wolf to kill her foes.
Boom.
Michael, this is my favorite. Yellow riding in the hood. Instead of red riding it. Abhishek says, quarantine them both. All that candy zombie blood will infect everyone. Danielle says someone dinged her car and she got a parking ticket.
Oh yeah, she's pissed.
And she gets out of the car with the wolf. And she's like,
pissed. She's ready now.
Tom says, Red Riding Hood ain't taking no beep. I like that. Rob says it's her fashion aggression. So aggressively fashionable.
Damn right.
So we have all the submissions now for the challenge, so we can look at those and then you can go to the desktop after that.
Yeah.
If you want.
Let's do it. Well, we'll do after that. We'll do a quick time lapse, then move it to the desktop, and then show you guys some quick tricks, and we'll move on to the next piece.
Perfect. Okay, so let's look at the submissions again. So we started out with this one here. Let me do that so it's bigger. From Wakas, it was the Deer Maid.
Yeah.
And then we have Callum's more branding logo kind of thing.
Mhm.
Danielle, her first time watching. Really awesome that you submitted. Using the color palette. Heather.
Oh, that's nice. That's really
so
nice,
cute.
too.
Little fish giving her a kiss.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it looks
very-
like you used Kyle's brushes too.
Yeah, very, very good use of the color there. And I like the shading as well. It's nice.
Nora. Oh, I like that.
It's
Very
nice.
cute.
Nice using the droplet as a framing device. Is that Little Mermaid in a fishbowl?
She was trapped.
Well done with the spatial quality to it. It looks very three-dimensional.
Yeah. Really great.
That's actually really nice.
That's by Beverly.
Yeah.
And then Nyan.
Ooh.
Ooh, look at that movement.
Very nice movement. Nice use of color. Wow, these guys are late bloomers. They came in. They came in
Oh
with
yeah,
the quickness.
they came in hot and they came in late.
Yeah.
I love how the hair and the tail are both kind of the same style.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Here's Ryan. Oh,
Nice.
these looks like Kyle's brushes too. Using the color palette,
Uh-huh.
really nice. Margarita.
Oh, she got a pet.
Oh, it's
that a
what are those
Catfish?
called?
Is that a catfish or what is that?
Koi,
Koi? Koi fish?
maybe, or a catfish.
Maybe.
I like the pose. It's like very seductive.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's quite a seductive pose. Robot
Whoa.
mermaid. Someone did the robot mermaid.
I think he's like so impressed.
I am. I just never thought I'd see that juxtaposition today. That's pretty impressive. Very
Yeah.
clever.
Very clever, Joe. This is from Omar.
Mhm.
So it looks like you were on sketch using the watercolor
Yeah.
brushes.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's cool.
Trying to capture the movement of the water with the streaks.
Yeah. Next, Valeria. She wrote can't win because she didn't use one of our apps.
Yeah.
But she used the color palette. This looks really cool.
Yeah.
Here's Tima.
Tima.
Ooh,
Look
this
at that
is
distinct
like
graphic style.
abstract.
Yeah.
It could be a print.
Yeah, it could definitely be a print or a pattern. You
Yeah.
could definitely make a pattern out of that. That's cool.
John. Ooh, what's this creature?
Wait, is this the same artist who did the merman with the fork yesterday?
I don't think so.
No? Oh,
I
okay.
think that
This
was
style
someone.
looks slightly similar. But yeah, no, it's well drawn.
Yeah. It looks friendly, but also scary. I'm like, I don't know what this creature is, but maybe we can be friends.
Maybe just put some highlights in the eyes, make them look more
Oh,
friendly.
oh,
Justify
a
the eyes a
glint
bit
in the
more.
eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, good advice. And then this is another one from Wakas.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Very tone on tone.
Tone on tone on tone.
Tone on tone on tone.
I think. Oh, there's one more. Ooh,
That's
here's
cool.
another creature.
That's cool. Fred Normandin.
I think Fred submitted yesterday too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, this is nice.
And that's it.
That's it? All right, so.
So, shall we do a recap?
Yes, let's do a quick recap.
Okay.
So Fred. Wow, is that
Tone on
Wakas?
tone.
John.
John. Tima. And I think Tima said it was his first time on the stream too.
Oh, really?
Omar. Here's the whole thing. Robot Joe.
Robot Joe.
Margarita. Ryan. Nayam.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah. Beverly.
That one's well done too.
Nora.
Uh-huh.
Heather.
Yep.
So cute. Danielle. Callum. And Wakas.
I think the winner for me will probably be. I think it will have to be. Go back.
Nayan.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
I
think
like
that's-
it
It's
too.
nice and bold and stark.
It's really beautiful.
Great use of tones, lighting, good shading. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I think that's the one for me.
Well done, Nayan. You're the winner.
Congratulations.
So, thank you everyone for submitting because you did a great job.
Yeah.
I know it's not a lot of time.
Yeah, it's
To
not.
do something.
It's not a lot of time at all with that. Yeah, but you guys did an awesome job with the amount of time that you got.
Yeah, so this is really awesome, and you can win Creative Cloud. So you can keep creating, and for the next year, it will be free.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Enjoy. Make the most of it too.
Enjoy and do more awesome things like that. I love the mermaid you created.
Yeah, it's awesome. Really awesome. Okay.
So
So now what we're gonna do is first let's create a time lapse just to see the progress that we've done, so you guys can see that it works in both programs. So yeah, so I brought the color work in, and then now this will be a much shorter time lapse because I'm just been adding color for like the last hour. Yeah, you can start to see how that comes together too. And then what I like to do sometimes, if I'm working between both programs, I'll like go on Premiere and then I'll like piece them together. So that's like one continuous
Oh,
screen.
okay.
Yeah.
I really like that the time lapse only shows your strokes,
Mm-hmm.
because if you were taking a video, you would see like, or a screencast, you would see like every selection,
Yeah.
every zoom.
Yeah, that's it. It can be in the way.
Yeah.
It can be way. It's better like this way. I
It's
think.
more forgiving this way too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you like were really indecisive about your brush for a while,
They'd
no
see
one
it.
knows
They
because they
would
don't
see it.
see what you actually clicked on.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna move this to the desktop.
Everyone's such a
first-
good sport in the chat. They're all congratulating Nyan.
Yeah, did a great job.
You're great. And he did do a good job.
So in order to send it to the desktop, all you gotta do is hit the share button, go to Adobe Desktop Apps, and we're gonna do it in Photoshop. So I'm gonna take this and send it to Photoshop. And then hopefully it will open immediately on my desktop. Now, if I were to do it in Illustrator, it would keep all the vector shapes, as we said before. But since I'm doing it in Photoshop, it'll flatten everything, but everything will be in its own layer. Even if you had specific opacity settings, it'll recognize that and respect them as well. So it's pretty good. Okay, it says it's been sent, so now I'm just waiting for it to pop up here. And here it is. So now you can
Just
see.
like that.
Just like that. It's like magic. So it has all of my layer choices. It's got everything that you guys can see here. Now, if I named my layers, it would have recognized the names as well. Usually I do, but for this instance, we'll just be working through it. And so now what I want to do is I just want to show you guys some simple tricks that I do.
Bye, Derek. Come back soon.
So let's see here. So let's try a couple things. First, I want to try
taking a
some.
video. In progress.
Let's try a solid color. Let's see if we can like mess around with the framing of this composition a little bit here. See if we can do some other things to make things stand out a little bit. Okay, so give it like a black background, and I kind of want to do something where. Maybe we'll keep it white because you have the shadow on the ground. I
Are
want to
you
do something
going
where,
to keep the city behind?
Yeah, but what I want to try to do is I want to see if I can crop the city a little bit so that it's almost as if they're jumping off the comic frame.
Yeah.
So let's just like blindly do a little square here. We'll just eyeball it for now, and we can adjust accordingly as needed. Yeah, like that might be good. And then I'll do a solid color. Now I'm holding Alt and hitting solid color, and then hit OK. And let's invert that. And let's make that white.
Fred says this is addictive.
Yes, it is. Very addictive.
In a good way, I hope. So we have, let's see, about 15 minutes left of our stream, but the next streamer is going to be Sarah Stewart, and she's already in the studio. So make sure you stay
Ready
tuned.
and raring to go.
She is so ready.
Absolutely is.
Abhishek says, can you add a bit of DOF blur? It will add dimension to the artwork.
Yeah, you absolutely could. So like if you wanted to, what I like to do when I do like all kinds of treatments and whatnot to my work, like I like to create it, like I like to make it a smart object. And that way I don't have to do any sort of, I don't have to overcommit to anything necessarily. I can like keep it undone. So in order to do that, I just right click and do create smart object. So now it has like this little logo next to it. And then if I want to add something like blur, for example, first let's put this in a group with a mask. Now let's invert that mask. If I want to add blur, you could do that like this, like so. And then I could like turn it on and off, so I have that flexibility of like not necessarily having to overcommit. I also want to see maybe if I can try and do a couple of quick things here. So maybe I'll convert it to black and white potentially.
Ah.
Yeah, just to give it a bit more pop. And let me add some levels here as well, because right now the top portion, if I clip mask this, the top portion is really whited out. So to have her jump out a bit more, and then I'll do a gradient map in the mask so that the bottom portion of the image isn't affected by the levels. It's only the top bit.
Nice.
Yeah, so now we have like some nice pop here. And then in order to increase the kind of contrast and whatnot, let's see here. Maybe we'll do like a brightness contrast, adjustment layer, and then we could increase that contrast a little bit just to have more of a pop potentially.
Igor says it looks great.
Thank you, Igor. Now, what I want to do is, let me show you guys very quickly some like nice little like tricks that I do to basically give it like an aged look. So first things first, what I like to do is let's quickly do like a little, so I have this like stock image that I got from Adobe Stock as well, this like fly poster image that I like to use. Let's overlay it on top of this. Let's see how big this is. Let's bring this down a little bit. I'll make this a smart object as well, because again, when you make it a smart object, you don't have to overcommit to any of the moves that you make. You can always undo them because it keeps the original sort of resolution of the image. So I'll shrink that down a little bit. And let's do like a hard light maybe. No, that's too much. Let's see here. Let's keep that normal. And then what I'll do is I'll go into filter, other, high pass. That like brings out more of the edges and whatnot. It allows me to keep it quite faint. Let's try that hard light again now, see if it's still too strong. There we go, that's a little better. So now you can see now it's starting to give it like this really cool looking aged look. Almost like it's been fly postered on, and I can control that.
So how do you make it opaque but also still show the creases?
So that's what high pass is doing. So what high pass is doing is like, I don't know how exactly you describe what it's doing, but it's basically accentuating the edges of the highlights and the darks.
Okay.
And then after doing that, you play with these features a bit, and then you go into your mask or opacity settings and set it to hard light. That I discovered gives me the best result of what I'm doing, and then just play with the opacity after that. So
Nice trick.
yeah.
Yes.
So say I'm happy with how this is looking, right? Let's say I want to pop it up a little bit more, right? Now I'm gonna grab everything here, and I'm gonna make this into a smart object again. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm gonna add some noise and some chromatic aberration to it. And I'll
Wow,
show you
this
what that
sounds
is.
very advanced.
So basically, if I want to add noise,
Kathleen heard that and she was like, ooh.
so we're gonna add some noise real quick, and this again will like help push. You can already start to see how it's really starting to help with that aged appeal. Like if I go all the way, obviously you go too far, so you
Right.
want to keep it. I like to keep it like below 15, like 15, between 15 and 10%. That looks all right to me. Let me toggle back and forth so you can see the difference. It's very, very subtle, but it does help it quite a bit, I think, in terms of giving it that scanned look. And then I'll zoom in even closer for this. With chromatic aberration, now typically for photographers, you know what that is. You fix chromatic aberration in photography because there's like a displacement of like the certain color channels in photos, which is more of an issue along the edges of a photograph than in the center, depending on how sharp the lens is. But for this, in order to achieve that aged look, I actually want to create that distortion. I want to create that color separation.
Okay.
So here, you go to filter, and you go to lens, I think it's camera raw filter, that's it. Oh no, excuse me, it is actually lens correction.
Tim said that you could use the grain from Camera Raw
The grain from camera, oh yeah, that's true.
instead of what you did.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's very true.
Kevin says that you can add the texture into layer styles.
Yes.
In layer styles.
Yes, you can do it too. There's many ways to skin it, actually. Yeah, thanks guys. That's actually
So
really
many
useful.
ways to peel the onion.
Damn right. So here with chromatic aberration, I'm gonna zoom in real close so you can see exactly what it's doing. So right now, everything should be aligned because you built this digitally, so you won't see any color displacement unless we drew it that way, right? So now if I go to the fringing, let's like pull the red this way, let's pull that this way. And so you can start to see now, you see what's happening? If I exaggerate it, it's kind of making it, not blurred, but it's, I kind of compare it to like,
Can you maximize this window?
yeah, sure.
So that it can be bigger on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I think I see what you mean.
So it's like, if I zoom in, you see that it has like this sort of like 3D
Yeah.
effect. So if I pull that back a bit and pull this back a bit, you'll start to see how it's getting sharp again. But if I pull it all the way a bit further, pull this a bit further, then it'll start to create like this displacement, which kind of pushes that aged look
Yeah.
a bit more. And then,
Ryan is like, dang, I'm totally doing this in my work now.
yeah, it's a really cool trick. It's a nice trick to do for 3D rendering, actually. Like when people add like depth of field in 3D renders and whatnot, and they want to give it a more photographic appeal, regardless of how abstract it is. Doing something like this, making those imperfections happen, actually helps with the realism, believe it or not, because it doesn't look so pristine and perfect. And then you hit OK.
Vincent says, look at that big brain on Kervin, learning tons in this session. Thank you.
And then that is pretty much it, guys. That kind of wraps up this piece.
Wow.
What do you guys think? Are you guys happy?
It's so awesome. It's amazing what you did with the textures.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so
Let's
now,
zoom in more.
Yeah, sure,
Like,
let's zoom in a
zoom
little
in
bit.
from the top and then
let me like
slowly
clear
scroll
all this
down.
out. Let's play it.
so we can see, we can take all the details in.
Yeah, so there we go right here. So we add some nice noise to it. Colored the crown.
Steph loves it. Nora loves it. Munir loves it. Abhishek loves it.
Thank you, guys.
Abhishek says, LOL, this is the only time that I liked chromatic aberration. Because he's a photographer.
Yeah, you typically don't want it in photography. That's the funny thing. But here, it kind of helps make it feel more aged and it pops off a bit more.
James says, cracking job, Kervin. I'm just pretending you're British because I think you are. Cracking job.
Yeah.
Tom says, thanks for sharing. Matthias says, it's great.
Thank you, thank you. And I'll be posting
Just
this stuff on my
smashing
Instagram.
work.
So if you guys want to see the time lapses and you want to see like the before and after, I'll be posting it on my Instagram so you can check it out if you want to later on.
Yeah, definitely follow Kervin on Instagram. It's his last name, Brisseaux. And stick around for the next stream. Sarah Stewart and Kathleen will be on next.
Yeah.
And we will be back tomorrow.
With this piece. If
Oh.
you go on back on
Okay,
the
quick,
iPad.
because we have to say bye.
Yeah, I will quickly show you guys what we're doing for tomorrow. It will
Teaser
be
for tomorrow.
a big teaser for tomorrow, yes. It will be this one.
Ooh.
So we'll be
okay.
trying to ink that quickly and coloring that up. So this is it,
Awesome.
yeah.
So stay tuned for tomorrow and stay tuned for the rest of today. It was great seeing you again. We love you. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Later.
Bye.